Welcome to Everyday Car Guy. Today we're testing a Rivian all-electric truck, the R1T. So come along for a ride and I'll show you what this truck is all about. Hey, welcome to Everyday Car Guy. Today we're talking about the Rivian R1T. It's an all-electric pickup truck. This is an amazing vehicle. So you can get this in two different models. One, it's called a dual motor model, and that has a motor in front and a motor in back. It's still four-wheel drive. This happens to be the quad motor, which means it's got four motors, one for each tire. Think about that. The torque on this truck is amazing. That's why this truck can do 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. The dual motor actually can do 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds. It also comes with 3 battery sizes. The low end is 260 miles per full charge. The second one, which I believe is this one, is 328 miles range. And now they're coming out with the extended battery, which is 400 miles. This truck is really cool. With all of that torque, you can tow up to 11,000 pounds. It's great in snow and it's great in off-roading. But you know what we need here? I need Ross to come on out here and tell me a little bit more about the truck because it's his truck. Hey Ross, thanks for joining me today.
Hey,
Thank you for letting me look at your truck.
Of course.
So Ross, the Rivian has a lot of storage capacities in this truck. Besides the front and your back area, what else does it have?
Oh, well, check out the gear tunnel.
Gear tunnel? What's a gear tunnel?
Okay, gear tunnel is the storage right here, and there's a little button right here to unlock
really?
it.
Wow.
It goes all the way through.
That's a lot of space in there.
Yeah, I can fit snowboards in here.
Really?
Probably golf clubs, but I don't play golf. There's a compartment on each door. On this side, this is for a tire inflation kit and tire flat kit. There's an air hose in here, so you can use that with the onboard air compressor to fill up the tires.
This truck has an onboard air compressor?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in the back here.
That's amazing. So you could use that to fill up your tires, but you could also use it for like camping if you had an air mattress, or bicycling if you had to pump up your... and it's built into the truck.
One other thing with the gear tunnel, there's a 12-volt power supply in here and 110-volt power supply on the other side.
So let's talk about cameras. This truck has a lot of cameras on it. I read that this truck has 10 cameras all around it and 12 sensors.
It has a 360-degree view when you're driving on the display. So, like cameras in positions that are a little unusual. For like one is here, so you can see the side. Then there's underneath here. There's a camera and sensors here.
Cool. And I see the sensors all around.
Right, and a backup camera, and then again a front view camera up here as well.
While we're up here, what about, how big is the frunk in this car?
Well,
the front trunk, as we call it in electric cars, like we do with the Tesla. Do you call yours a frunk too?
Yeah, let's take a look at the front. It's got a little handy dandy thing here on the key fob.
I love that it's all automatically opens up. Wow, this is quite a bit of space in here.
Yeah, and under here, storage. And then again, like the spare tire compartment in the back, if you take everything out of here, you could throw in ice and drinks and have a front party.
A front party. That's amazing. So while we're up in the front, where do you plug in to charge the Rivian?
Oh yeah, okay, so the charge port's right here.
Oh, neat.
It is a North American standard J1772 mixed with the combo CCS.
Very cool. And you have in-home charging, I would assume?
I do.
Fantastic. Great. Let's go take a look at the space in the back.
Not like a traditional truck that has a handle here. This one, the open and close is right here on the bed rail.
Oh, all electronic. And this truck bed is pretty big. Wow, that's a lot of room in there.
Between a mid-size and a full-size truck.
So what do you use the truck for?
Primarily ATVs. And so it fits an ATV perfectly, and I can lock it up with a gear guard cable, and that connects to the truck's gear guard security system. And if anyone tampers with that, the gear guard security system will alert you and you can go check on it. But the cameras will record if anybody tampers with anything that's loaded in the bed or around the vehicle. I was up in Mammoth and it caught a video of a bear walking by the truck.
A bear?
Yeah, a bear was sniffing out some pizza in a parking garage.
Oh my God.
GearGuard video recorded it. There's also room under here for a full-size spare. If you remove the spare, it can be used as a cooler with a drain plug at the bottom. And then when you want to have margaritas, just hook up the blender right here to the 110 power outlet.
Oh my goodness. How does the tonneau cover open up?
The open and close is for the tonneau cover is located on the bed rail here. Rivian's had some trouble with this tonneau cover they designed, so they're redesigning it, and then I think they'll re-release it to new customers.
I think we should take it out for a quick ride and see how this thing's on
All
the
right,
highway.
let's go.
Do you mind? Great. Well, right away, the cabin is extremely quiet. I'm very impressed with how quiet this cabin is. I know with my Tesla, I get a lot of road noise from the tires, but this is extremely quiet.
Yeah, we were in quite a noisy environment out here by the Port of Los Angeles. It was noisy outside, so you get in and immediately feel it's quiet.
So I know that this car has all those cameras around it, and it has like an autopilot mode in this car. I think you call it a Drive Plus system. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, Driver Plus. Yeah, the automated.
Yeah, because I love it in the Tesla. How does it work in this car?
I'm not convinced. I'm not very confident with Driver Plus at the moment. It's getting better, but it's not available on a lot of roads outside of LA. It'll definitely hold the speed well. It'll hold in the lane for the most part. As soon as you go to hit your blinker to move to a different lane, that's it. No more lane assist. You have to re-engage Driver Plus for it to hold in that lane. Adaptive cruise control works really well.
How's the GPS in this car?
The GPS system works well if it finds the place that you want to go. I do compare it with other map apps, and it's pretty good. And I think that's getting a little bit better as well.
Does it show traffic too, or is it just strictly maps?
It does. It shows traffic. No, I thought it would be a little bit more robust in terms of putting in the off-road destinations. Mm-hmm. So if I put in, for example, a campground that I know is available somewhere, it often doesn't see it. It's not always updating with the availability of electric chargers. For example, I went to go charge at an Electrify America station that said that there were 6 units available on the GPS here, but when you get there, the whole place is under construction.
I had that happen to me in the Tesla one time. They said there was 12 available. When I got there, 6 of them were broken. Right off the bat, I got to tell you, this car rides really nicely. I could feel the torque in the car as you hopped on the highway. You barely stepped on the gas. You could feel you have tons of power, which is fantastic. How fast does it do 0 to 60?
That's still the same. I think it's 3.3 seconds, 0 to 60.
That's insane. You know, 3.3 seconds. You're talking Corvette speed. You're talking Lamborghini speed. And this is, I don't know, a 6,000, 7,000 pound truck. And you can hold 5 people comfortably. You can't put 5 people in a Lamborghini, I'll tell you that.
I wanted an electric vehicle and a pickup truck so I could put an ATV in the back. I didn't think I was going to buy such a powerful sports car.
But how is the Rivian charging places and where you can charge?
Well, it's open to the North American standard charging systems. And, you know, so that's pretty good. I feel like it's great, but it's not anywhere near as good as this Tesla supercharger network.
The Tesla supercharger network is really good, and I think that's where Ford and GM and all these other electric cars really need to step it up. And I think it's going to happen in the next 5 to 10 years. Mm-hmm. And Rivian has their own network, but it's just not that big yet.
Yeah, Rivian does have their own charging network, and that's great. Every experience I've had at a RAN charger has been awesome. Mm-hmm. And currently, that's free for. It's free to charge there for Rivian customers. The RAN network's perfect for Angelenos because they've dispersed them kind of like heading out of LA up the 395 to the Sierra Nevada mountains.
Oh, really?
And then out towards Vegas, towards Barstow and places like that.
So I love the dashboard and the way it's set up. I love the way the air conditioning works. How's the sound system? You like the sound system?
Yeah, the sound system's amazing. This is a launch edition, so it has a couple of features that, you know, don't come with the Adventure package. And one of those features is the Meridian sound system. It has 18 or 19 speakers and a subwoofer in the back. So the sound is truly amazing.
So right off the bat, I see that you have an induction charger right here in the console.
And then it comes with a camp speaker, which is located under the center console.
So is this similar to the Tesla that you put the lever down to put it into drive?
Yes.
Okay, and then up to reverse?
Yep.
And then push it in for park?
That's right.
Okay,
Same,
great.
Then you can take the speaker
SOS, is that like the GM version where you hit the button and it calls for help?
I mean, we hit it and see what happens. It'll call someone if we press that.
No, don't do that.
Calling emergency services shortly.
Cancel.
In 17 seconds.
I got it, I'm canceling. You're scaring the crap out of me, Ross.
Cool. The one pedal drive, 1 foot driving system is really great.
Oh, plenty of torque.
The Rivians are rated at 835 horsepower.
I've read different stories about, especially electric vehicles, when they tow, they go from 300-mile range down to 100 miles. What has been your experience when you're towing something in this vehicle?
Like the heaviest package I've towed, I maybe noticed the range decrease to about half.
How long does it take to charge enough to get up to Mammoth?
If I'm down to about 15% and I want to get back up to 70 or 80%, that's going to be about half an hour charge.
I noticed on the website it talked about different drive modes for off-roading. You have rock crawl and you have, sport mode and rally mode. It's got crazy modes in this truck.
Yeah, it sure does. I've tried them in various places, and I like to go out to the sand dunes and go to the snow. And there's a soft sand mode here which will help give traction. If your wheels, it prevents the wheels from spinning and wants to give it a little bit more traction. The off-road mode is great for getting technical on adjustments that the computers are adjusting to get you better traction in different conditions, and then increasing the ride height so you have better clearance.
And how's it in the snow?
Yeah, the snow's been good too. I think personally in untracked, unplowed, snowy roads where it's just where there's a lot of powder. In Mammoth, I experienced this, and I went into the soft sand mode, and that gave me better traction than off-road mode. But on the hard packed, on plowed roads that are hard packed snow, which usually they'll put grit on top, then snow mode is really good for getting traction on that. I noticed a lot less wheel spin, it feathers the brakes and the gas pedal, so when you're accelerating, decelerating, you get a lot more confidence in traction. It's very versatile. The gear tunnel, I guess, is something very unique to Rivian, and so an all-new vehicle manufacturer designing a pickup truck from the ground up and started designing new features that haven't been seen before in pickup.
Pickup truck, I think, is one of the most versatile vehicles out there. But my biggest problem with not owning a pickup truck is because they get really bad gas mileage.
Yeah.
But if you could go home, plug in your truck, charge it up, get 300 to 400 mile range, wow, for a guy who's a contractor, this is a perfect vehicle. He's just driving back and forth to his sites. What a great thing to have. I think this is the revolution. I think this is the way vehicles are going to be going in the future. So I think the electric pickup truck is going to change the industry. I really do. I think this is the cusp of what electric vehicles should be.
This truck is all electric, and it's great for getting 300 miles around town. Once you start towing, it's a heavy package that's going to reduce by about half, which I would say is comparable to any full-size pickup truck pulling a heavy load.
Right.
But once you get out of town, it's a little harder to find charging stations.
To put it in park, we just hit this, right?
Yep. Yeah. If you notice when it parks, it'll kneel. So it's automatically adjusting the ride height to make it easier for short people like me to get in and out. When I start driving in tow mode, it has a low range estimate. As you keep driving, it'll compensate for the weight of the package that you're towing and then adjust the range estimate, accordingly.
What's that on your wrist?
This is a Rivian wristband.
Does that work like a key?
It does, yeah. The Rivian wristband was given to launch edition owners. You can leave your key fob at home and go surfing or something, and just use the wristband to get in and out and turn on the vehicle.
So what is this truck going for?
The launch edition was listed at $75,000, and then Rivian had some supply issues at that price. So they increased the price, and so now I believe it's about $82,000 to $85,000 for a comparable truck. And I have to think it's comparable to any other luxury pickup truck.
Yes.
that you're going to buy is going to be about $75,000 to $90,000.
I remember looking at Rivian, and I bought some stock about a year and a half ago. It was about $100, and my neighbor said, I think I'd get rid of that. So I did, and thank God I did, because it went down to like 20 now.
Oh yeah.
Are you have any concerns about that?
I do, yeah. But I have faith in Rivian. I'm just going to hold for the long term and hope that electric vehicles and the Rivian will get more and more popular and gain value. Keep the world adventurous forever is Rivian's motto. And so they have a camp mode where you can have the vehicle automatically level. So for people that like to camp in the bed of the truck or with a rooftop tent, you can level it so that if you're on an uneven surface, it'll just automatically do its thing.
Wow. Yeah. I love the screen up front. One of my biggest complaints about the Model 3, it only has the giant screen in the middle. It doesn't have anything here. This is fantastic. It gives you a lot of information. My only criticism on this car is I'm not sure I like those headlights. They look like they're eyeballs looking at me.
Okay.
You know, that was my only thing I don't like about that, but they are cool the way they light up and everything. It's in the running lights, and I also noticed when you put your blinker on, that is your blinker. So we're down in San Pedro, which is a very interesting area. It has the Maritime Museum here. It also has the Iowa, the battleship USS Iowa. That's also a fantastic museum. I took a break from filming the Rivian to check out the USS Iowa. A World War II class battleship, the USS Iowa is now a museum open to the public. Once you step on board, you get a feel for the immense size of the ship and its guns. The ship is almost 3 football fields long and a football field wide. Your personal tour allows you to explore most of the ship, seeing everything from sleeping and eating areas to the pilot station. There's also an interesting exhibit on the history of battleships to the sinking of the Lusitania. Keep in mind that there are many steep stairs and entrances are a little tricky. Nearby are plenty of restaurants and shops in downtown San Pedro, and just over the bridge is Long Beach and the Aquarium of the Pacific. The USS Iowa is a piece of history that you can see and touch, and it's interesting to all ages. So thank you for joining me on the tour of the USS Iowa. It's time for Everyday Car Guy's report card. Let's talk about comfort. The Rivian R1T has a very comfortable ride. It rivals my Lincoln for smoothness. You have plenty of shoulder and hip space, and the rear seat has plenty of room for 3 adults. The suspension has several options for different drive modes. Overall, this vehicle rides really well, so I'm giving it an A for comfort. Now for performance. I always rate the cars on everyday use. 0 to 60 is the most important performance element since we all need to get onto the highways. The Rivian R1T has tons of torque, and even though it weighs around 7,000 pounds, it can still do 0 to 60 in 3.3 seconds. Its torque also comes in handy when climbing hills, off-roading, driving in snow, or just passing other cars. The truck's off-the-line speed married with the way it handles makes me give the Rivian an A- for performance. Economically, the Rivian model that we tested had a range of 326 miles. All electric cars give you range anxiety, but once you get over the 300-mile range, that anxiety decreases. But again, with any electric vehicle, you must plan your long trips around charging stations. As the country goes with more electric vehicles, charging stations will increase. Overall, I think the Rivian is an amazing car and has a great range, but because it relies on other charging companies and doesn't have a network of chargers like Tesla, I have to give it a B. Now for design. The interior design is classy, nice material, soft leather type fabric, and comfortable cushioned seats. The exterior looks like an ordinary pickup truck, but that gear tunnel is something that really separates this truck from a normal gas pickup truck. Overall, I thought the truck was really well designed and seemed well made inside and out, and therefore I'm going to give it a solid A for design. As for value, there's no doubt about that this truck is very expensive. Rivian's $80,000 to $90,000 price doesn't seem so bad when you compare it to the fully loaded top-of-the-line F-150 that can be as high as $80,000. But my biggest concern is if the company can survive. It's a great vehicle and I truly want to see Rivian succeed, but it comes with a risk. So for value, I'm only giving the Rivian a C-. So for the overall grade, let's give the Rivian R1T a B+. Hey, thanks for watching Everyday Car Guy today, and thank you Ross Wilson for letting us test drive your R1T Rivian truck. This has been a fantastic ride. Hope you liked today's show. Please hit the like button and subscribe. Until next time, drive carefully.